In this video, I'm going to show you how you can qualify for one of 3 completely forgivable grants for your down payment when you're looking to buy a house. So there's one called One Plus, one called Purchase Plus, and another called HomeReady First. Now, these grants are all completely forgivable. So what that means is that you don't have to pay them back. There's no tape or strings attached to it. There's no interest on it. And there's also no monthly payments on the grant as well. Once you close on the home, that money is entirely yours. Now, One Plus is going to give you a grant of 2% of the purchase price up to just above $7,000. Purchase Plus is going to give you $5,250, and HomeReady First will give you $6,500. Now, you can't combine these grants. What I'll show you is a tool that actually shows you which one you qualify for. So you'll obviously want to choose the one that gives you the most amount of money possible. Also, a lot of people have questions about why is this money, like what's the catch? Why is this money being given out? And this is federal money that's available, and basically banks have to use up that money, and so they do that through providing grant options. Now, the minimum score for One Plus and Purchase Plus is 620, and this is because underneath these grants, they're attached to a conventional loan, which has a minimum requirement of a 620. Now, HomeReady First is a little bit different. It does raise that credit score minimum up to 680. Now, as far as income limit, only one of these has an income limit, and that is One Plus. It's 80% of the area median income. And don't worry, I'll show you a tool that lets you see what that is and if you can qualify for it. Purchase Plus and HomeReady First don't have any income limit at all. One Plus has no geographical limit, but Purchase Plus and HomeReady First does. And it's based on where you currently live, and there's 11,000 areas that qualify. So all of these grants have no restriction on where you can purchase, but these two, Purchase Plus and HomeReady First, have restrictions on where you currently live to qualify for the grant. So let's hop over to the Grant Finder tool. You can access that at winthehouseyoulove.com/grant. Okay, so this tool is designed so that you can easily search between these 3 grants to see which one that you match with. So all you have to do is answer a couple questions. First question is, will another person be on the loan with you? So you can say it's just me, or I'll have a co-borrower. At this moment, we'll say it's just me. Okay. Now we put in our credit score. Let's say that it's a 700 here. Okay. And then, are you a first-time home buyer? So first-time home buyer is someone who hasn't been on the title to a home in the past 3 years. So we'll say yes. And then also, do we currently live in any of the areas below? And you can see how this is going to be verified here if you hover over this. So tons of areas in here, areas like Phoenix, Detroit, New York City, Oklahoma City, Memphis, all can qualify for some of these grants. So if you currently live, not where you're buying, but where you currently live, you'll click yes here. Now, this step is just a touch tricky. It takes a little bit of work, but it takes like 3 minutes. So what you can do is you can watch this tutorial if you want to. I'll also guide you through it right now. But you're going to want to enter in your current address, okay? Not the place you want to buy. People keep making that mistake of putting in the home they want to buy. It's where you currently live into what's called the Fannie Mae lookup tool. Okay, so this is what the Fannie Mae lookup tool looks like. So what you'll want to do is enter your current address in the search bar in the top left here. I'm going to go ahead and enter an address for a home that I found on Zillow. So we'll enter that in here. And then what I can see is I have this little pop-up here. So we want a couple bits of information. So the 2 things that we want the FIPS number, and we also want to see if it says anything in the special focus areas. Okay. So what I'll do right here, FIPS is this number right here. And then in special focus areas, I can see it says designated disaster area, HomeReady First, use borrower's current address. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. So let's hop back over to the Grant Finder. So we can see here, step 3 is where we want to enter the FIPS number. So take that number that you saw from the area median lookup tool and enter that in right here. So after you enter that number, you want to look under special focus areas and see, does it say HomeReady First, yes or no? And remember, when we looked at this here, we can see it says HomeReady First, use borrower's current address. So we're going to click yes in the Grant Finder. Now, something you can also do as well, if you need some help, you can just click this to email me your current address and I can give you this info as well. So then what you'll do is you'll put in your annual pre-tax income, also called your gross income. So we'll just say it's $80,000 here. And then where are you looking to buy? So this tool is going to automatically look up the area median income limits for the area that you're looking at buying in. Okay. Then you'll enter in the purchase price that you're looking at. So let's say we're looking at $350,000. And then also conventional loans have a minimum down payment requirement of 3%. So we're just going to keep this 3% here. Then we can scroll down and we can see the grants that match our profile. And again, it just reiterates to us that they're fully forgivable. There's zero repayment on these grants, and you can sell or refinance at any time. Okay. Now, keep in mind that this is not a pre-qualification. This is just showing you the grants that you match with. So you do have to go through a pre-qualification with our team to be able to verify the grant approval and get approved for the underlying conventional loan. And you can do that by clicking apply now on either of these. So what it's going to do is show you, again, these three different options. We have One Plus, Purchase Plus, and HomeReady First. And if it's in green, obviously you qualify for it. And if it's in red, it's going to show you why you don't qualify. So we can see with One Plus, it says income is too high. So what you can do here actually is scroll back up to the county list and see, okay, your income is $80,000. What you can do is actually sort this by counties to see what the income limit is. So I can actually see that, okay, even though we looked at Montgomery County, it didn't qualify for this grant. Well, all of these counties here, all of these would qualify because the income limit is higher than $80,000. So if that's an option for you, you might be able to actually look at, could you look at homes in a different area? For some people, it wouldn't be realistic, but maybe you're saying, well, actually, I might be looking in something like Warren County. And so you could then pick that from the list. And then let me see, I'll click out of this box here, scroll back down and see, okay, great. Now One Plus, actually we can qualify for it because we changed the county that we're in because it has a higher income limit for you. Okay. Now, something to keep in mind as well is that we do this grant finder on all of our pre-qualification calls. So you can also reach out to our team and they can help you with that as well. So if you want to see even more details comparing these two different types, this goes through everything like the maximum down payment, different residence limits, things like that. Tons of details in here if you want a more deep dive in these grants here. Now, also what's in here is a cost estimate comparison. So we're going to use estimates to kind of see what the impact these grants would have. So for instance, we were looking at $350,000 purchase price. Okay. Now what we can do is we can actually look at getting a seller credit. So a seller credit is where the seller pays a portion of the purchase price towards your closing cost. And this can help reduce the total amount of closing costs here. So let's say that it's 2%. So the seller is going to contribute $7,000 to our closing costs. Okay. So let's take a look before the grant, what this would look like. We can see which ones we qualify for. The down payment on each of these loans, right? This would be 3% of $350,000. Then we can see the estimated closing costs. Now, closing costs are not just things that a lender charges you. They're things like your home appraisal. You have a title search and title insurance. You might have recording or transfer fees. You have homeowners insurance, property taxes. All those different things add up into those closing costs. So the seller credit goes a long way in bringing down the total due at closing before a grant. So in this situation, we'd be looking at a rough estimate of around $11,400 to be able to purchase a home. Now, we can see after the grant, we can see the grant credit applied from each of these different options. Okay, so obviously One Plus is going to be the highest grant option here. Then also, Purchase Plus and HomeReady First have an appraisal credit of $500, so that can help reduce closing costs even further. And then HomeReady First has a home warranty credit of $500, so that helps as well. So what we can take a look at then is between these options, which one is better. So total due at closing here, One Plus is $4,400, Purchase Plus is $5,600, HomeReady First is $3,900. So even though we technically got a higher grant from One Plus, HomeReady First in this situation would be better because it's offering an additional $1,000 in the appraisal credit and home warranty credit here as well. Okay, so that can be really helpful. So you can then choose which option is going to be best for you. And then there's also just some common questions that people have about these grants as well. that you can take a look at. So I made this tool as easy as I possibly could so that you don't have to hop on the phone or go through an application to see if you can qualify for these grants and take advantage of the federal money that's available to you if you qualify for these. So all you have to do is go to winthehouseyoulove.com/grant. It's free to fill out and see what options you can match with. And then from there, you can click apply now to talk with a member of our team, get that grant locked in. That way, when you're looking for a home, it can reduce those upfront costs for you, making it easier for you to purchase your home.